Who can tell us anything about diabetes?
Blood sugar.
Blood sugar problem, right? So right now, I think it's 20 million Americans are afflicted with diabetes. 20 million Americans. Most people will say diabetes comes from your genes or from your diet. There's something called type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes. This was known as adult onset diabetes years ago, because the only people who really got type 2 diabetes were adults after a certain amount of time. If they had an especially bad diet with high sugar, they would get this type of diabetes often. But now it's turning up in children all over the place because of our bad diets. In fact, unbelievable statistic, they say that of the children born this year, 1 in every 3 will eventually get diabetes in their lifetime. 1 in every 3 children will eventually get it. It's hard to imagine. Now, we know that sugar is bad. We know that, that any kind of spike in your sugar intake is bad, but is it really sugar that we're eating these days? No. It's high fructose corn syrup. If you go into the supermarket and look at all the products on the shelves, especially the ones that are canned or have a long shelf life, you can bet that pretty much every one of them is going to have high fructose corn syrup, a sweetener. It's found in things that aren't sweet. It's found in breads, it's found in ketchups, it's found in salad dressings. So one of the reasons we have so much high fructose corn syrup around is because of the type of meat culture we have. We're growing so much corn, we have to do something with this corn. We're creating cornstarch, we're creating this type of syrup, and this is the standard sweetener these days, a genetically modified sweetener. Even if the ingredients on the package don't say corn, odds are it has it. Most of the additives that we can hardly pronounce on these foods are made of corn or maybe soy. So this product is one of the main reasons that kids are eventually getting diabetes. We're eating more corn than we've ever eaten. It's like every child is a guinea pig. Another reason, though, is overconsumption of processed meat. The overconsumption, not a little bit here and there, but I mean eating it 2 or 3 times every day. Processed meat has been linked to things like diabetes. It has been linked to colon cancer. It has been linked to lung cancer, and we don't even know what else. Okay? This is a real problem in our country. I said that 20 million people are afflicted with diabetes, but how many Americans are affected by diabetes? Every one of us. Diabetes costs our health industry billions of dollars, right? Who's paying for the broken health system? We are. So every taxpayer is affected when there's such a huge epidemic of diabetes going around, or heart disease, or cancer, all of which is linked in some way or another to an excess of processed meats and high and fatty foods and trans fats, all these things. What about dioxin? Anyone heard of dioxin? Dioxin isn't so much a thing. It's actually an umbrella term for a group of isomers, a group of things that come from the industrialized process. So when industry has, is a huge factory creating bleach or other items, dioxins are a waste product. Where do these dioxins go? Oh, before I go on, I should say that dioxin is a known carcinogen. It's not like people are debating about this. Everybody admits that dioxin causes cancer. Okay? Some things we're not sure about, but this does. Where do the dioxins go? They go into groundwater, they go into grass, they go into soil. Who eats the grass? Who eats the products from the soil? The animals. We take part in this also, but dioxin stores itself in the fat of animals. So to make this full circle, the dioxin is produced, the industries produce it, it goes out to the environment, the animals eat it, the animals will keep eating it, and it's stored in the animal fat. The animal fat is then ingested by humans. So in that way, we're getting a lot of dioxins in our diet. And you can look this up, it's not a mystery. This is definitely one of the reasons for so much cancer these days.
Can you get dioxins if you don't eat meat?
Everybody, from what I've heard, everybody has some dioxins in us. If you live on, in an industrialized type of place, a first world country, if you're not living in the forest, you're going to have dioxins. But our bodies have an immune system. We can deal with a certain amount of dioxin. But after a certain accumulation, it'll get us.